Somalis are not black.
Look at me. Look at me.
Us Somalis are not black.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't care.
So Somalians are trying to drag black Americans into their fight. Check this out.
But Trump based his order on a report whose author has made it clear that his goal is to denationalize and deport as many Somali Americans as possible. This is not about crime. It's not about safety. This is about purging people like me from this country. Minnesota has always been a welcoming place for people fleeing a home country that is blasted by war, poverty, and hunger. Europeans in the 19th and 20th century, black Americans from the South, Hmong.
That was a call for allyship, and they threw the race card out there. We're all black. What happened to I'm not black, I'm Somalian? And what happened to the call of allyship when y'all was scamming Minnesota out of hundreds of millions of dollars? They only pull out the race card when it's beneficial to them, because before this, they'll tell you, you're jealous because Somalians are driving Priuses. And there's no allyship when they taking advantage of all these government assistance programs. HUD, public housing, they're not going to let you in their building that they're in. And these are the same people that will tell you, if you black American Somalians will say, hey, my people came over here in planes and your people came over here in shackles and chains. Keep that same energy. I respect that. Since me and my peoples came over here in shackle and chains in a ship, I'm porting my ship right here. This is where I'm going to port my ship. Don't use black as a race card. Don't use black when it's beneficial. Keep that same energy. You not black, you Somalians. You not black, you Nigerians. Keep that same energy. Because when it's time to benefit off these government programs, like housing, all that stuff, they lock other people out. They don't care about nobody else but their own people. So why you yelling allyship now?
And now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at, that's, I hear they ripped off Somalians. Ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care.
Hi guys, my name is Esther Daniel and you're welcome back to the channel. So let's take a look at this set of individuals who only claim blackness when it favors them. So a few months ago, Somalian folks were all over TikTok shouting, we are not black, we are Somalia, like they were running away from the word black, like it was disease or something. Now, fast forward to today, Trump is talking about deportation, immigration crackdowns, and calling out certain African communities. And guess what? Suddenly, everybody is like, black Americans, please stand with us. Please help us. Oh, now y'all remember black Americans, right? Now you remember that we are not black doesn't work in America. I'm not even trying to be rude. I'm just watching all these like you don't believe the warnings. You did not listen when black Americans told you exactly what was coming. But now the pressure is on. Everybody wants unity. Anyway, guys, let's get into the video. Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out.
Most people understand why I said that's none of my business on my last video when it came to what Donald Trump said. And but for those who are on my YouTube channel talking about why are you saying it's none of your business, it's not any of my business. I voted for Kamala Harris, and it looks like the population up there withheld their votes because of what was going on with Israel and Gaza. They withheld their votes, a lot of them. A lot of them voted for Harris, but a lot of them put their votes on Trump, and they withheld their votes from Harris. So that's why I say it's none of my business. Here's some pictures though. Because that's who they wanted in power. And that's who they got. It's none of my business.
Why did I see a tweet today talking about the fact that Trump is targeting Somali people in Minnesota is going to put black Americans at risk? I don't think so. I think that black Americans and Somali people don't look anything alike. first of all. Second of all, they don't even consider themselves black.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat, am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs. We're in the Arab leagues. We speak the Arab language. We eat the Arab food. Bro, think about it like this, bro. If a whole community doesn't regard themselves as black, we can't be black, bro.
Somalis are not black. Now, before you disagree with me, I just want to say, listen, right? There's no such thing as the term black. The term black only came about in colonization. I don't have to accept that, Sahib. That's why the other day when I was in a place, someone said to me, "Are you black?" I said, "I'm not black, Sahib. I don't accept that term."
Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black.
You think that a person, any person, can't tell the difference between a black American and a Somali person? I don't think so. I think that you can tell the difference between a Somali person and a black American person. Like, I really do. And I'm just saying.
So I did a video that went viral, and it was basically a rant, and I was giving it from the perspective of a naturalized citizen, and I went all in on Ilhan Omar because I was tired of the falsehoods. She had made a statement talking about the fact that she's an American citizen and she can't be deported, but yet she had failed to make a distinction that there are two types of citizens, American citizens. There's natural born and naturalized, and I went ahead and gave the breakdown. If you check my page, you'll see the video. I've pinned it so it can provide you with more context. So the reason for this video is I wanted to kind of clap back on, one video that I had seen that has made its round on social media about a Somali woman who's going on social media ranting about the fact that she's not getting any support. Somalis are not getting support from, whether it's other fellow Africans or, Americans, because they go ahead and they help other people, but now that they need support and they need help, nobody's coming to their aid. Something to that effect, okay? So I want to respond to that, and I'm now talking from the perspective of an African, a Zambian, okay? But I'm talking in the context of an African. Somalis, let me tell you something about Somalis. Somalis are very self-centered group of people. When it comes to Africans, Somalis like to distance themselves from other African nations. And I'm sure I'll get a lot of other Africans in the comments who can vouch for what I'm saying. Time and time again, Somalis, when you tell them that they are Africans, they will quickly debunk that. They will tell you flat out, "No, we're not Africans, we're Somalis." What? Are you kidding me? So they don't even want to claim that they are Africans. They will make that distinction and tell you that they are Somalis. But yet, Somalia is in the content of Africa. Okay. So what I've noticed about Somalis, and especially about the video that I had made, I had seen a lot of comments from other Somalis that came into my comments saying that, I was making all these comments. I should be ashamed of myself as a fellow African, why I'm not supporting our Somalia, our Somali sister. You're an African, but you're not supporting, you're talking down on her. So again, these people are making that distinction, calling themselves Somalis. They're not even saying our African sister. So they want to separate themselves. But yet, these people, if they don't have that support, if you don't support Somalis and you're on the total opposite spectrum in terms of your thinking, they call other Africans slaves. They're calling us monkeys. They're calling us all these disparaging words, all these other Africans disparaging words when we don't support them. And quick to say that they are not Africans, they are Somalis. But now they want to cry for not getting support from other African nations. Like, can you see the hypocrisy here? So Somalis want support from other Africans when it's best convenient for them. Now that they're going through a crisis because now they've been called out for the amount of fraud that they're committing in America and all these shenanigans, all these things that are going on. Now they're calling for other Africans to come to their aid. No, I'll tell you something. When it comes to Ilhan Omar, I don't even claim her as an African. Heck, I don't even claim her as an American because she doesn't act like one. She's not an American. She's only an American by title because she got her citizenship. But even that's in question. So when it comes to Somalis, I'll be damned if you're going to come to me saying that you need support from me because I'm an African when you talk dirty and low down and disparaging to other African nations when they don't side with you. I'm quite honest with you when it comes to Somalis, from my observation, when it comes to dealing with other Africans, they're not very inviting. They're not very welcoming. They like to exclude themselves. They don't want to include themselves when they see other fellow Africans, instead of being like, hey, let's see another, we're seeing another African person here. Let's have that camaraderie. They don't want to do all that. They want to just stick to themselves. So no, I'm not going to support them just because they are in the continent of Africa and they are Africans, but yet they never want to call themselves Africans. They always want to call themselves Somalis. And quite frankly, I just don't feel like Somalis are a true representations of Africans as a whole, because a lot of African countries, we demonstrate the spirit of Ubuntu. We like that community. We take everybody in. Other African nations, when we see other Africans, we embrace each other. Especially when we're in foreign lands. When you come across Somalis in a foreign land and they see other Africans, they don't care. So I don't care about them. I'll be honest. That's why they don't have my support. And I'm not just going to be supporting, Somali just because they're from Africa. But, they don't want to include themselves as other Africans. Nah, sorry. I can't do it. They are very selfish people. They're not nice. They're not nice people. I haven't encountered any nice Somalian, They mean mug you when you look at them, when they hear that you're from Africa, instead of trying to be embracing. Nah, I'm over it. Somalis, you're on your own.
Trump is calling for the deportation for Somali people, and he is sending ICE into the Somali community. Black people, you might want to sit this one out. Even though you can look at the Somali people and see that they have black, brown skin, you cannot tell them that. They say they don't look like black people. The culture is different. They don't want anything to do with blackness and black culture. They do not fuck with black people, and they get mad if you call them black. And the sad part is, this is deeply rooted. They are taught this shit in the churches, in their communities. Just take a listen to how they talk about black people.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, or most of them, were the product of one night stand. One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed. And because the marriage will limit them, they will go from one to another to a third.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat, am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs.
Are you guys black? Are Habesha people black? I would consider.
Okay. We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it.
Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black.
Somalia, which is barely a country, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage.
Now, I'm not saying all Somalis feel like this. And I'm not saying that what Trump is doing is right. All I'm saying is, I'm going to just sit this one out. Do what y'all want. But let me know what you think in the comments.
2 days ago, Trump called the Somali people garbage. He also referred to Ilhan Omar as garbage as well. We're going to talk about what that means. Trump wasn't just being racist. He was changing the narrative. he was being politically strategic in what he aims to do, and here's how. If I can change how people talk about you, I can change how people see you. By using the word garbage, he plants a seed in the narrative of how people think about Somali people. These people do not belong. These people are not valuable. These people are the problem. Once he controls the narrative, he controls the actions that come after. The word garbage is designed to hit your nervous system first. It activates superiority in some people. It activates fear and danger in the population that's being targeted, the Somali people. It'll activate numbness in people who are bystanding. A dysregulated population, meaning a population whose nervous system has been activated in this way, is easy to manipulate. Now we hear the word garbage and we internalize that word in very different ways. Some people are going to feel justified in mistreating the Somali people. Some people are going to start believing that the policies to ban these people are justified without proof. Some are just going to repeat the language. Some are going to distance themselves socially. Some people are going to distrust their Somali friends and co-workers, people in their community. Some people are going to be scared to speak up and say this is completely abhorrent and horrific. And this is the beginning of collective behavior change towards a group. Now, he doesn't need everyone to go out there and harm Somalis. He needs enough people to be quiet and calm about it, not urgent about it, and kind of in that state of numbness for the system to hype up its harm of the Somali people. I want you to hear me because this is the most critical part of all of this. Now, when he uses the word garbage, he's actually collapsing the public's ability to see the Somali people or to imagine them as fully human. Once people stop imagining the Somali people as fully human, they stop seeing them as parents. They stop seeing them as neighbors. They stop seeing them as teachers. They stop seeing them as community members. They stop seeing them as activists. And they just start to see them as the caricature that has been painted in their brain about them. When we say people are dehumanized, this is what we refer to, the collapse of imagination. Instead, the category by which we see these people flattens. When imagination collapses, empathy goes out the window with it. And that is what makes harm acceptable over time. A collapsed imagination will allow for harsher immigration laws, for a hike in deportations, reduced public backlash, surveillance, increase of it, and political justification for discrimination. It is a tale as old as time. You take Somali people and you implement or put a different group of people who have been equally oppressed, and it always starts like this. I'm going to recap because I want you to remember this, because it's going to happen again, and it's going to be a different group of people. He used one violent word to create a narrative, to control the story. That word shocks the body at different levels and in different ways, depending on where you sit and how you see the world. This then shrinks our collective imagination about the group of people. And then that makes harm look like common sense. This is urgent, and it matters.
Black Americans been warning immigrant communities for years. They said Trump is not your friend. He doesn't like Africans. He doesn't like Muslims. He doesn't like immigrants. You ignore them. Some Somalia folks even went out of their way to say we are not black. That is your problem, not ours. Okay, but now the same people are crying online because the system is finally showing them they are treated like black people in America. And suddenly everybody wants to be under the umbrella of black unity. This is why so many black Americans are frustrated, because it's always the same pattern. When things are peaceful, we are not black. We are different. When things get scary, black Americans, please help us. It doesn't work like that. America doesn't care if you call yourself Somalia or Nigerian or any country, whatever. If your skin is dark, you are getting treated like a black person. And honestly, black Americans are the only group in this country that consistently fight for everybody, even when those same people doesn't like them back. That's the part that hurts. Let me talk from my heart for a second. I don't want anyone deported or suffering because nobody deserves that. But I also think some people needed this reality check. Maybe now they will understand that trying to distance yourself from blackness doesn't save you in America. And I'm just going to say it in a simplest way. Don't run from black Americans when times are good, and then run to them when times are bad. Pick a side and stand on it. Anyway, guys, these are just my opinion, and I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.